Hello, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to this week's car boot sale haul video. I hope you're sitting comfortably. I hope you've got snackies and that you've had a wee. Have you had a wee? Go and have a wee, I'll wait.
A few minutes later.
Okay, have you had a wee now? I left the house this morning and I was like, oh, it's going to be a rubbish boot sale today. I'm just not feeling it. I don't think I'm going to. And even on the way to the boot sale, I was planning what I would call this video. I was like, what's smaller than a small haul? Tiny haul, micro haul, nano haul. I had it in my mind that I would call this the nano haul. It's not nano. It is in fact large, and there's more. That's not all of it. Buckle up. It's going to be a long one. Let me show you these first. These are probably my epic fail of the day. I saw these and I was like, ooh, they're very vintage, aren't they? They are. Very vintage Totopoly by the manufacturers of Monopoly, and they are very, very vintage. Look how vintage they are. They smell really vintage. They've got cardboard horses on the little stands that all have their own separate box so that you don't break their legs, and yet all the legs are broken anyway. Very, very vintage rules and really, really vintage. However, what there is not is the board. I have not got a Totopoly board, and yet I have got two Totopolies. One is slightly older than the other, but not by much. This one's got extra cards from a Guess Who game. Not the Guess Who where you have the faces and you flip them up and down. Just a completely different game altogether. I don't know how much of what goes with what. It needs an awful lot of sorting out, but I do know I haven't got any boards. So not the find of the day. I paid £5 for the two. It's not the end of the world. But I must learn. I must learn to actually check whether what I'm buying is worth having before I part with my cash. I could split these down for parts and probably make plenty of money on them. I probably won't, because that's something I always tell myself I'll do, and what I usually end up doing is giving this stuff to Nick Hills, because Nick Hills does do that. He's got much more patience than me. Still, you can't win them all. There's a lot more good stuff that won't matter about. I bought this fur real puppy dog. I don't know which one it is. I don't know what his or her name is. Fur real Friends puppy. It has its bone, which was a selling point because quite often they've lost the little accoutrements that go with them. She's got her lead, she's got her bone. She was £4. I didn't bother haggling on the price. I thought £4 was reasonable for that. The cats sell really well. I've sold the fur real cats multiple times. I don't think I've ever had a dog. So I don't know what she's worth. I looked up some stuff. I didn't look her up. Go-Go My Walking Pup Dog, she's called. Somebody sold one for £14. There's an awful lot of fur real dogs, and only one of her I've seen so far. This could be a good sign, or it could be a bad sign. It could be a good sign because she's rare, or it could be a bad sign because no bugger wants her. That's the only one that I can find of her, £14 sold. And that one didn't have its bones, so that's a good point to make on it. £4. She was worth £4 either way. I paid another £4 for this Kipling bag. It does need a wash. It's quite a nice, lovely tealy green colour. Is that green or teal? What would you say? I don't think it's quite teal. I think it's more emerald green maybe. It has its monkey. It's got Anna monkey. It does need a wash. It's got a little mark on the top there. I don't know if you can see that. A little mark here. But apart from that, it's in pretty good nick. So I will go and get some stain treatment on that mark. And it's actually a nice day today, touch wood. So hopefully the weather will hold out and this can be washed and dried in no time at all. In as little time as it's taken me to say I might have better wash that. I will take the monkey off before I wash her. So yeah, that's what I'm going to wash. £2.50 I paid for this grey Cath Kidston oilskin polka dot bag. It has some scratch marks here, which again you may not be able to see very clearly on camera, but they're only very light. A couple on the front as well. But apart from that, it's in good nick. It's got all its zips. It's not got any broken zips. Everything in working order. It's not too stained on the inside. I think there's one tiny ink mark, if I remember rightly. That might have been the other one, because she had another bag that wasn't in such good condition that I didn't buy. But yeah, so quite pleased with that one. £2.50. It was a day for people pricing their stuff today. £1 for these 3 silicone heart-shaped moulds. £1 for those. I paid £1 each for these 2 pairs of shoes from the house clearance guy, and then I got some other stuff from him as well. So these are Hotters. They should have a name inside. They are Shimmy, I think that says. Yep, Shimmy. I think they're a very, very dark blue. They looked black when I first glanced at them, but now I'm looking at them thinking they might be a very dark blue. That could just be my eyes playing tricks. I'll get a second opinion before I list them. But yeah, so £1 for those, and also £1 for these Skoll sandals. Is it Skoll or Scholl? Does anyone know? It's S-C-H-O-L, and I've always pronounced it Skoll, as in school. I think it's Skoll. But yeah, £1 for those wooden clog sandals. Sold these quite well before. And also from that house cleaning. Oh, let's show you this first. This was £2, I think. It might have been £3. £2.50. £2.50. Wanted £3. I offered him £2. We settled on £2.50. Kenwood mini chopper. £14 to £16 on that probably. Funnily enough, the blade from that sells better than the actual mini chopper. If I just took the blade out and sold it, I'd get about 12 quid for that. Whereas the mini chopper, not so great. But yeah, this also from that house clearance guy with the shoes. So a stack of vintage tea towels. Nothing very exciting there. There's a Tetley tea one there with Gaffer and Sydney and whatever, and an old style recipe one and a Norwegian one, Norway, and then also vintage tablecloth. So that and this for a £5. So this is vintage 1970s St Michael Heron Riverside tray. Somebody sold one of these for £25. Others have gone for 10 to 15. But I've also got the matching chopping board. There is a little bit of damage to the corner of the chopping board. Apart from that, we're all good. So did I say this was all a £5? So the tea towels and the tablecloth. The tea towels and the tablecloth. The chopping board and the tray. And then I picked up this. We're at Top Saver chopping board that says Camper Van Heaven. Because it had a little matching... Well, maybe it doesn't match. Same artist, same dogs. But the dogs are going off in the motorbike and sidecar. And the artist is Linda Ballenshaw, I think that says. Ballenshaw. So I thought they went together. Well, they will go together because I'll list them together. And then this, which is little Japanese chinoiserie lacquered address book in a box, in a gift box. Never used, so it's lacquered wood. Panelled front. I'm not sure what flowers those are. Never used. Address book. And inside the box was this, and I thought this was really nice. I'm going to read this, and if you're already bored, I'm sorry. Have I been 9 minutes already? Good Lord. Okay, you ready? It's called Youth. And there's a little envelope inside, folded up. It's got either Chinese or Japanese writing there. I'm sorry, I don't read Chinese or Japanese, and I'm not sure what. I think it might be Japanese. It says youth. Youth is not a time of life, it is a state of mind. It is a temper of the will, a quality of the imagination, a vigour of the emotions, a predominance of courage over timidity, of the appetite for adventure over love of ease. Nobody grows old by merely living a number of years. People grow old only by deserting their ideals. Years wrinkle the skin, but to give up enthusiasm wrinkles the soul. Worry, doubt, self-distrust, fear and despair, these are the long, long years that bow the head and turn the growing spirit back to dust. Whether 70 or 16, there is in every being's heart the love of wonder, the sweet amazement at the stars and the star-like things and thoughts, the undaunted challenge of events, the unfailing childlike appetite for what next, and the joy and the game of life. You are as young as your faith, as old as your doubt, as young as your self-confidence, as old as your fear, as young as your hope, as old as your despair. So long as your heart receives messages of beauty, cheer, courage, grandeur and power from the earth, from man and from the infinite, so long you are young. When the wires are all down and all the central place of your heart is covered with the snows of pessimism and the ice of cynicism, then you are grown old indeed, and may God have mercy on your soul. And it says, given by Kizo Nishimura. It is based on a poem written by the late Samuel Ullman. I thought that was quite interesting. I liked it. I liked that. I don't know whether I'll leave it in there and sell it as one. I don't know. But nice little address book and a lovely message inside. Okay. I paid £5 for these 3 games, and to be honest, I'll be lucky to get my £5 back. There is Jibber Giggle. This is new and sealed. It says, could you guess if someone was trying to calm down a grizzly bear using only the words wimmy wazzle, or propose to your one true love using only the words boom shakalaka? I bet you'd have fun trying. This hilarious family-friendly game takes 2 minutes to learn and will have everyone in stitches as you try and act out scenarios using only ridiculous nonsense words and your own expressive face. That was new and sealed. These people were moving abroad. The chap said, everything's got to go, we're moving abroad. So I also got the Big Bang Theory party game, Ultimate Genius party game, which I think will be a bit like Trivial Pursuit, only Big Bang based. Although I don't know, actually, there's drawing bits in there and all sorts. So I've had a look, it doesn't sell for a huge amount. And then I got Duel Betwixters board game, which it says, a Duel Betwixters is a 2-player card game designed to test your manly worth through the ancient and sacred art of violence. That sounds fun, doesn't it? Your heroic feats will earn you the love of fair maidens, and sturdy men join your ranks in admiration of your combative prowess. You will send this fan club to work in the mines where they will toil tirelessly in your name. The fine ingots they pull from the earth will provide you with an economic and military edge in a series of spectacular duels which will unfold betwixt you and your opponent. Who will be the finest specimen of man? Will you gain the gentlemanly satisfaction you demand? Only time will tell. I actually feel like Richard next door and Sean would really enjoy playing that. I think they would very much enjoy dueling. So I might go and see if they want to borrow it before I sell it. So yeah, £5 for those 3. £1 each for these 3 Joe Wicks Lean and 15s. I thought I would sell them as a bundle. Somebody's obviously bought all 3 and not used them. I could possibly use them, to be fair. I do need to be lean, and I could do with doing it in 15 minutes. The nice thing about this one, the shape plan, is that a lot of the recipes seem to be for one person. So one of the things that frustrates me like hell, being a person who cooks for one most of the time, is recipes that say serve 4. And yes, I know I can half the quantities or quarter the quantities or save a bit for later. I don't want to. I just sometimes want to cook one meal for me quite quickly. So I might have a go at that one. The sustain plan. Oh, there's a lot of serves 1 in there as well. Maybe I'll have a good look through those, put them in my kitchen, tell myself I'm going to cook something out of them before I ignore them for a year and then sell them. Maybe that's what I'll do instead. I do know my own failings. I also paid £1 for a Christmas Party by Georgette Heyer, and then I've just realised I've read that. So that was a bit of a bust. Didn't need that one, I have read it. Not long ago either. £2 for a box of latex gloves. Useful for gardening and clearing up dog messes. £2 for some Smiggle Twist Up crayons, 24-pack. God knows how much they cost in Smiggle. I couldn't find any sold on eBay. £3 for this bundle of Soap and Glory stuff. So I've got a big thing of Righteous Body Butter, Soap and Glory Brightening Sheet Mask, and then smaller things of bath milk, body wash, showered cream, another body wash in a different flavour, and scrub. I will put those together. I've got some other Soap and Glory stuff, so I'll just do a bundle of the lot. £2 for a Squishmallow Pug. There are solds for about £9.99 on him. £1. Harry Potter Philosopher's Stone hardback, first edition, 24th print. So not thousands of pounds, but between £25 and £50 for that one. Very nice condition, very well looked after, no scribbles, no tears, complete with dust cover, good nick book. Pleased with that for £1. I've got another one of these in the cupboard somewhere that I haven't listed yet. Need to pull finger out. 50p for a pinch of non-food planner, absolutely unused. Includes 26 recipes. Don't know where they're included because I can't find them. Maybe at the back. Where are the 26 recipes? Oh, they're scattered amongst. Pork and bacon pate. See, I look at that and it says 299 calories per person. I say lovely. And then it says serves 4. That relies on me stopping eating when I've ate my portion, doesn't it? Unfortunately, if I was the kind of person who stopped eating when they'd ate their portion, I wouldn't look like this in the first place. £2 each for a couple of hair dyes. These are the Garnier Nutrice that I use. Now, I may owe some viewers an apology. Every now and again, a viewer says to me, oh, you've changed your hair colour. And I say, no, I haven't. This is the same one I've been using for 20 years. I use Garnier Nutrice 3.6 deep reddish brown. There it is, 3.6 deep reddish brown. I I looked in the bathroom the other day and what I've got on the shelf is 4.6 deep red. So I don't know whether I just bought the odd one that's different or whether I have actually changed my number at some point and forgotten I'd done it. I honestly don't know. Anyway, I've just bought one of each. These were £2 each, these are the only ones she had. And they're close enough that I won't care if I do use the wrong one. You know, they're close enough. So, yeah, £2 each for those. This lady, I got these clothes from her as well. She was clearing her mother's stuff. Her mum had sadly passed away. And she had so much stuff. And she said, I've got so much more at home. She had clothes with all their tags on and everything. She said, I had no idea she'd bought so many things. So yeah, I bought those. Bear in mind, there's about 8 different hair dyes on this table in all different colours. So this lady's mum had obviously been very indecisive about what colour she wanted her hair to be. And this pile here was £12 from the same lady. So I've got 3 of these Largan Look linen cotton layered summer dresses, and they're all 5XL. Theoretically, they should fit me, but they're a Chinese 5XL, and the Chinese people they're a bit dinky. They're a bit on the small side, bless them. Certainly, their idea of a 5XL is Britain's idea of an 8, and God knows what it is in America. But yeah, so that one's a kind of a rust, and then this one is a more burgundy. It's exactly the same style. Exactly the same style. They're by a company called Anself. And they're just very layered Largan Look, slightly higher hem at the front than at the back. So I've got 2 of the reddish ones, and then I've got a moss green one as well. And then I've got a Joanna Hope occasion dress. I'm not sure what size that is. Joanna Hope is plus size. So I didn't bother looking at the size when I picked it up because it's very nice condition. Very nice dress. So have a look at the size now. Brand new with its tag. I didn't realise it was brand new with its tag. It's a 32. It's a plus size 32, so it's a big one. It should be too big even for me. I might try it on and then be horrified when it isn't too big for me, and then maybe that'll spur me onto my diet a bit more. And then this, which is a beautiful piece of the 80s. Look at that gorgeous 80s cardigan. It's really, really thick, really itchy. Can't see a brand on it. Burton Group Limited. Are the Burton Group still going? I think they bought Littlewoods at one point. UK 20 to 22. Very nice. Vintage 80s. Late 80s, early 90s at a push, but mostly more 80s, I would say. So all of that was £12, and then the hair dyes were £2 each. So that was very nice find. I did obviously say to the lady I was sorry for her loss. And to be fair, she said, oh, it was a while back now, but it's taken me a while to get around to doing the house. So. Oh, this bag of stuff cost me £10, and I think I'll probably get £10 just for the bag. So the lady packed it in this bag without me knowing. I bought the stuff from her, and she said, oh, I'll wrap it up properly for you. And I said, okay, well, that's very kind of you. I'll wander off and I'll come back. And actually, Anthony went back and picked it up. And when Anthony went back and picked it up, she had packed it into this Pierrot bag. And like I said, the Pierrot bag itself, I'll get this stuff out now. The Pierrot bag itself should be a good £10. What's that that's just fallen out? That must have been in the bottom of the bag. I'm not even sure what it is. Is it maybe a broken earring? I'm not sure. Maybe a key ring? I don't know. But yeah, so a vintage Pierrot bag would be worth selling on its own. It's got a few stains on it. You can see that it's a bit discoloured, but then it would be when you pick up a bag from the 80s. You don't necessarily expect it to be in pristine condition, do you? Cotswold Designs. It does smell a bit smoky home, so it'll want airing. The lady was having a cigarette when she was talking to me, actually. So what I actually bought from her was Beatrix Potter, Mice in a Shoe. I don't know what book it's from. It just says Beatrix Potter, Frederick Warren & Co. on the bottom, and I don't know. Is it Hunker Munker? Did Hunker Munker have babies? There are several that have been listed, and they've just put old woman mouse who lived in a shoe, mouse in shoe, mice in shoe. So I don't know if this character actually has a name or not. Let me know if you know. I'd be very glad to find out. But it is money box, and it does have its stopper, which is always a tricky point with vintage money boxes, because they seem to lose their stoppers. And then, did I say this was 10 quid? I think I did, didn't I? 10 quid for all of it. Very, very lovely Wedgwood Peter Rabbit plate and cup and bowl. Really lovely set. Try not to drop it, Carla. Really lovely set. Very pleased with that. As if that wasn't enough for me tenner. Bear in mind I've got a Pierrot bag and a Peter Rabbit set. As if that wasn't enough for my tenner, there is also this set of plates. So these are the Royal Worcester World of Bears by Lee Bevis West. This one's Brambling Bertie. Mike Mechanic. Milk Bottle Bear. Sam Scarecrow. They keep coming. Gardening Graham. Honeypot Henry. Freddie Fisher. Peter Painter. Kitchen Kate and Wendy Washer. I wonder when the women were going to look in. Suddenly enough, they're in the kitchen. Valentine Bear and Strawberry Susie. So that's a total of
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12.
I'm looking, somebody's got Freddie Fisher listed for £25.50, but then other people have got him listed for £2. So it's going to be one of those things perhaps when the prices are all over the place. But as I've got what I think there is a full set, I may list them as a set. And I don't know what I might be looking at for a full set. I'm sorting the listed by highest price. Somebody's put a set of 7. They've got them listed at $39.94. Somebody's got 3 listed at $15.95. Prices really are all over the place. I don't know. I do not know. Either way, 10 quid for all of that and the Pierrot bag. That's good. But it's not over yet. Are you still awake? Wake up at the back there. I told you to go for a wee. I had to pay for these by bank transfer because I didn't have enough money left. Do you know what this is? Of course you don't know what this is. How could you possibly know what this is? What a stupid thing to say. It's an entire bag of Russian dolls. Now, I quite often pick up Russian dolls if I see them. But there's a lot of these. Betty Boop. Now this is only one doll. There's no innards in there. I'm not sure why. But I think she's the only one who's lost her insides. And to be fair, her insides might turn up further on in the bag. There's 1, 2, 3, 4.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
10, and that one's really vintage.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
18, that one's a shark.
19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37.
And this one's a monster. 37 Russian dolls, 30 quid the lot. I couldn't say no. Like I said, I didn't have the cash. I had to do a bank transfer. Surely there's a lot of profit there, isn't there? Surely there is. There has to be. I've got one of your fins there, mate. I'll pop that back on. There has to be profit there. Some of them are really interesting. Some of them are really unusual. So somewhere here there's a ninja. This is a ninja one and it's plastic. And I couldn't decide if that was a Lego ninja. But I've never seen a plastic Russian doll before. It goes down really small. So, yeah, that was one of the more unusual ones. And then there's animals. There's all, like I said, this one's massive. It stops recording after half an hour. I don't know where I got to. And I won't know until I play this back. I'm going to recap. There's 37 of them. There must be profit there. There absolutely has to be profit there. There's some very unusual ones. I'm going to have to watch this back now and find out how much I lost. And if I've lost anything vital, I'll pop that back in. Thank you for joining me. Really must remember that the camera will only record for half an hour. Thank you for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed today's haul, and if you've seen anything that excites you, get in touch on the email in the description box below. That really is the best way to do it. Please don't message me through Instagram or Facebook or in the comments under here. I'm far more likely to A, see your message, and B, remember to reply if it's in my email, and also if it's all in my email then I know where to find it when I go back to look for it later. So please do use the email. It's in the description box for you to use if you need to get in touch. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you all next week with another haul. Although God knows how I'm going to put it all. Take care. Bye for now.